Hello, beautiful souls. So today I want to briefly talk about manifestation and surrender. Now, the reason I want to talk about this is because just the past 6 months of my life, I have seen so much more than I ever have being attracted to me or mirrored back to me because of what I've been doing with my own energy. And I'm not talking about efforting more. I'm not talking about going out and getting what I want. No, I'm talking about lining up some energy within my own being, within my own system, lining up all my energy here in my heart, living more from this place than this place. And I have been receiving so much more. So for example, I got this beautiful stone. It is a raw amethyst. And somebody had sent this to me all the way across the country. And I wasn't even expecting it. I literally just went out to get the mail one day and I opened it up and I was just super happy. And also had a letter in there, a really kind letter, and I had no idea that I was gonna get it. And I just remember reading the letter and looking at the stone, and it just made me so happy. And it really wasn't about the stone itself, right? Or the letter. It was about I knew that I lined up energy. So this person reflected back to me what I was doing within my own self, if that makes sense. That's what all of manifestation is. So there's this belief amongst most people that they have to go out there and they have to effort and hard work themselves into receiving what they want, right? Most people are working 9-to-5 jobs, and there's no shame in any of this, right? We have all been trained into thinking that we need to work hard, and into this hierarchy, I can't even say the word, system, where we have to work our way to get to that next level, right? And effort ourselves, hard work ourselves, and motivate ourselves into getting what we want. But that is not the case at all. And I just want you to know this because I have seen this work in my own life. I have had more money come to me. And the funny part is I'm not working somewhere that I don't like and I'm just doing it for a paycheck. I'm actually doing more things that I like doing. I'm doing more inspired action. And inspired action is where you do something because you just feel in your being you want to do this thing because it just would feel good to you. And actually not doing that thing would feel bad. Okay, that's inspired action. Motivated action is where you're like, okay, I gotta do this. I gotta get up this morning because I gotta get this paycheck and I gotta get paid next week so I can pay rent or I can take care of my kids or whatever it is, right? That's the difference between those two. So when you understand that is a very loud motorcycle. Okay, distracted me. When you understand that, it's about surrendering the past and the future. And you are learning how to line up that energy. So you're just really honing in here. Because this is your temple. This is where all of this out here manifests. So all of this in here manifests out here, right? And we see this gradually happen usually, right? Because we're going to call it an optical illusion, the human optical illusion, where we feel like we're moving through time. We're seeing things evolve. We're becoming more awake. Every being is becoming more awake. You could say that every being is on an awakening journey. They are. They may just not know it. But if you're watching this video, you've become aware that you are. And so you're seeing yourself on this path unfold. And there is so much more to come. But it's not about the more to come. It's just right now what you are manifesting, what you are creating. And it's not, you'll start to realize that it's not even about what you're creating. It's how you feel. It's who you are. It's who you become. Because once you start lining up energy and you start surrendering more and you start trusting more in this unknown and having what we like to call faith, a lot of people like to call faith, that once you receive these things that you kind of weren't even thinking about when you were lining up energy, you realize that you never even really wanted the thing. You just wanted to feel better. And that's what most people actually want. They just want to feel better. They don't actually want the thing they think they want, which is what, a bunch of money, or they want a new car, or they want a boyfriend, or they want a new house, or whatever the hell it is, right? So we start to understand this, and we just start to take control from inside of ourselves. So I've just really seen it work in my own life. The past 6 months of my life, I have gotten so much more than I ever have received. And I'm also much happier. And I do still do a lot of action, but a lot of my action is inspired. It's not, I have to do this so I can get a paycheck. I've got to do this so I will be good and someone will get me something or give me something. Like, it's not like that at all. It is like, I want to do this because it like makes my heart sing. This is my piano. I sing and I play piano. I play guitar. That makes my heart sing. And when I do it, I get great feedback from my mirror out here, right? And so you'll know when you're doing inspired action and when you're doing forced action. And also forced action is kind of like that. I can talk about that another day, but it's actually taking. You can think you're doing something really good for someone, even if you hate the action that you're doing. Like, let's say you're taking care of your grandmother, but you hate taking care of her. You're actually taking from her because you don't absolutely love what you're doing. It's not coming from the heart space. It's coming from an egoic reason. And that is always taking, no matter what. So, but that's kind of a separate subject, kind of. But it's always about releasing resistance and surrendering your ego and all of your fears and what you think is going to happen or what happened and why you're not worthy, right? Because secretly most humans are always living in this subconscious program of why they're not good enough because of what happened to them when they were a child, right? Or 20 years ago, or last week, I don't know, whatever. So it's learning how to be present, and that's how we manifest. It's by living in the now. It's by giving up all the things you want to manifest. And then you'll start seeing those things trickle in, and you're like, oh my God. It was never about the thing. It was never about any of this. It's about who I became. It really is. And one more thing. The spiritual teacher, you may or may have not heard of him, Joe Dispenza, he says this wonderful thing. It's, if you want something greater to occur in your life, you have to give up the very thing that got you everything that you wanted for something greater to occur. That's not exactly how it was put, but along those lines. So you have to give up control, right? You have to give up the efforting. I gotta do this to be worthy or to get this. You know, it doesn't mean you just like fall to the ground today and like quit your job tomorrow. But it just means, let's say you just start going to work and you say, you know what, I'm gonna show up at this job with the mentality that I'm gonna give instead of I gotta be here to get a paycheck. Just that in itself will change your energy enough with that mindset for you to receive more. And it doesn't have to necessarily be from that job. You know, maybe it'll start trickling in another way, right? And so you also got to be very open with how things are going to manifest for you. Stop trying to think about how it's going to happen. I know it's hard. It is so hard because when we have these big human brains, we just want to figure it out. We want to know and we want to have control. And that all goes back to survival. We want to be secure as a person. But this energy of manifestation and your dreams and living from the heart space and being present and surrendering, it is not about control at all. So that's like the gist of it. You know, it's about slowly letting go of that control factor of the ego and getting into that flow state of surrender. And it takes practice, and we can say time, because we are in the appearance of moving through time. So that is one thing that we are going to face. You know, it's going to appear that we are evolving, but you're still good enough now. You're still tapping into that infinite power now in this moment, and you getting all the things that you need. The universe is resourcing you. So we get stuck in this cycle in our mind where we think, oh, I have to get to this place of healing or where I've manifested my dream life to like be good enough. It's not about that. It's literally about the journey, because the journey is constant like this. When you're in this life, the journey looks like this. It's always moving. You're always going to seem to be progressing to more and more and more, but you're always good enough. You're just learning how to receive more. You're learning how to open up. Life is more like a dilation of receiving. And you can think of life as everything is already created. You are just learning how to receive it more. As the creator, you're starting to understand that you are. And you get to have fun while you do it. But it's a little scary if you're not used to letting go of that ego. But just a little bit, day by day by day by day by day. You learn to release resistance. It doesn't happen like overnight. Like, I did that meditation, I did that breath work, oh my gosh, it's all good now, it's all out of my body. All the stress, all of the programs are out. Like, it's not going to be like that. That's why you're going to see your body doing some interesting things and try to pull you back into what it was used to, while you are awake trying to like reform your mind with your awareness, with your consciousness. Because your body is the one that you're waking up again. I think I kind of talked about this. And I'll probably end up talking about it again. But your body is what you're training. Your awareness is awake. And your body will eventually catch up. So, that's all. You are the creator. You are dilating your body into knowing that it can receive more and more and more. And you are unlearning and relearning who you are into form as to receive more of what you want. And you understand that it was never about the physical things that you get. It was never about being financially free. It was never about being beautiful. It was never about getting married and having children. It was never about that house. It was always about who you became. It really was, because everything is a reflection of who you are. So I hope that helps someone when they are trying to manifest. It's about surrendering what you have been afraid to surrender. And you know what that is. You know what you're afraid of. You know what you don't want to let go of. And if you don't know where to start, where to go, close your eyes, go into quiet contemplation with yourself, ask your sacred heart, because I don't have the answer for you. You have the answer for you. So, you are the creator. You are the one that gets to dilate this body into more and more knowledge and wisdom and knowing, and love it into being able to receive more. Your loving awareness is the creator, and you are that. Thank you.